Alrighty, well, it's Monday. We are going out to check out some trails south of Camp Wood. It's north of Prescott, and we're just gonna kind of mosey around. And I have no idea. They have no ratings on X, so we're gonna go see what they are, and we might take a couple of pictures. We might even rate the thing ourselves. Who knows? Anyhow, we have Mrs. Prescott four-wheeler over here. And we have Nico the Wonder Dog. So the road we're on is actually Camp Wood Road. It's right at the end of the pavement off of Williamson Valley Road. And it just kind of heads up into the mountains, into the Ponderosa Pine Forest in the Prescott National Forest. And then we head south off of this. So north is Camp Wood, but south, which is a left turn off of Camp Wood Road, will take us kind of meandering back. There's some springs back there, and with the recent rains, we might actually see some water. Imagine that. Nico will love it. He's a water dog. So I'm recording some follow-up video to our trip yesterday. We ran into some inconsistencies between the type of trail that Onyx Maps reported that we were on and the signage that we ran into on the trail. So we got to a point where Onyx Maps said the trail was rated for high clearance 4x4 vehicles, but the sign that we got to on the trail that we had mapped out said it was basically motorcycles, equestrian, and hiking only. So in the interest of playing by the rules, we turned around and went and looked elsewhere for a trail. So when we get to that point in the video, I'm going to come back to this and talk about some specifics about what we found when I got home and looked into the Forest Service motor vehicle user maps. All right, so we've made a left turn on Cabin Springs. I think it's 9874. I'll clarify that if I find out otherwise. But we're kind of cruise back here and see where this takes us. And then it's supposed to hook up with some other stuff. And we'll see where that goes. I'm not, oh, I know what Ken's doing. He's disconnecting his sway bar. I think.
way back.
That section might be worth a blue rating on Onyx. You're not driving a Prius through that. All right, so this sign says motorcycles and horses and hiking and no ATVs. And I think that also means no Jeeps. So we're gonna turn around at this point. That kind of sucks because I was looking forward to some of this based on what I saw on the map, but we'll play by the rules. So you can see by looking at this map that Onyx Maps has the trail rated for high clearance 4x4 among other uses, but for our purposes, high clearance 4x4. Now when we look at the Forest Service MVUM or motor vehicle user map, it shows the second part of Trail 9874, which is Cabin Springs, rated for motorcycle only. Now, we didn't see any signage until we got to the intersection with Coldwater Trail, at which point we saw that it was motorcycles and equestrian and hiking only. So the circle here represents where we saw the signage that said motorcycle only. This arrow points to where the trail changes from high clearance 4x4 to motorcycle only, but we didn't see any indication on a trail sign that that was the case. So you can see here that Onyx Maps lists Coldwater and Cottonwood Mountain trails as high clearance 4x4 use. But the Forest Service motor vehicle user maps clearly show that those two trails are motorcycle only. So not wanting to waste a trip out there and a half a day of wheeling, we just hopped over to the old Campwood Road Trail, which Onyx Maps shows as high clearance 4x4. And you can see that the Forest Service motor vehicle user map also shows it as rated for 4x4 off-road vehicle use. So when I got back home, I took advantage of the Onyx Maps feedback feature for each of the trails to notify Onyx that these trails were mislabeled and they are in fact motorcycle only trails, so they can update it. And whoever follows behind us won't find themselves in the same situation. So we're heading back down the hill and we're gonna take an offshoot off to the left that was off to the right when we were coming up. That takes us out to Campwood Road, and then we'll head, I think, west and look for some other stuff. So So that's a pretty cool view of the valley and Flagstaff, the snow-covered mountains in the distance. It's Joe Jean, the gate queen.
The gatekeeper, keymaster.
All right, so we ended up our run on that little section because that's pretty much in and out. It looked like it went all the way through, but then it turned into more of a narrow hiking, equestrian, and motorcycle trail. So we went back out to the main Campwood Road and we're heading towards a trail called Old Campwood Road, which Onyx Maps says is mildly challenging, moderately, I don't know, 4 out of 10. So we'll see what we find. Huh? Mrs. Prescott four-wheeler is cold.
It's cold out here.
All right, so here's the intersection of Campwood Road. We're coming in, or Old Campwood Road. We're coming in partway through because we didn't want to drive all the way to the start of the trail. Again, an awesome view of the valley and Flagstaff in the distance. We're almost to the end of this trail. We'll end up back out on Campwood Road, and that'll be it. Hope you enjoyed it. We did. It was a nice Monday afternoon, morning and afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.